we are planning some really cool content coming up here on Legends Look Back, including a Crimson Empire roundtable. This was for me one of my sleeper hits. The Legends book I'd heard about, had never read. The comic, got the Crimson Empire trilogy on Comixology. Blew me away. Absolutely knocked my Legends socks off. So, last year, I think it was last year. Time seems nebulous, doesn't it? Anyway, there was 50th anniversary Lucasfilm Black Series anniversary figures. You know what I'm talking about. We're celebrating the Legends universe. One of them being this character. There's all this debate about who this character is because of a misprint on the box. Freddie and I covered this back when it came out.
Breaking news.
And then this week, Rick, new to the team, wasn't on the show when we first discussed all this. He messages with a similar question. Rick, what's the confusion all about?
Yeah, and actually, I was on the show for that one. I was.
Oh yeah, but it was great. I loved having you there.
I was new. Yeah, thanks for that. And but I had no clue who the character was, and so now that I'm preparing for Crimson Empire, I got my own because I have to, right? And so yeah, you look at the box and it says Carnor Jax. Interesting.
Not related to Connor Fett.
Yeah, I know.
Different guy.
Carnor. Okay. But you open it up, and it doesn't quite look like him, though he's being described over here. And like on my my GameStop sticker, it says Kier Kanos. So I don't know what character this actually is. I'm really confused. And so I think I'm just going to go with Carnor Kanos or Kier Jax. I don't know.
No.
It's definitely a misprint, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is Kier Kanos. Uh-huh. This is Kier Kanos. The box says Carnor Jax. Now, here's the thing, Rick.
Yes.
I just got mine in the mail.
Uh-huh.
I know what you're thinking. Didn't you get yours in the mail months ago? Why, yes, I did. But then, on whatever website I ordered this friggin' thing from, they said, hey, we're releasing a redo. We're fixing it. And you can get one. And I was like, great. So I ordered the Kier Kanos. The other day. It ships, and it gets here, and it's still Carnor Jax. So now I've got two of these things.
It's
two
funny
of these things.
They acknowledged it, right?
Yes, there was an apology tour and everything, or a tweet,
Yeah, there was a whole tweet, an apology tweet of, oh, yes, we understand we got this wrong. And of course, Jared and I were like, let's get as many of these as we can so that we can sell it, later on down the line.
No, that wasn't my scheme. I just want the right one. And one misprint, sure. Yeah.
So, I want the right one as well, but I'm not even sure if I'm going to get it. I feel like I have to see it, have to have the evidence first before it's
I'll
true.
show you. Yeah. If I ever get one. I don't want to be that person, in customer service that's like, my Star Wars action figure has the wrong name on it.
It's a model.
I ordered one, and then I reordered again, and it's still wrong. Yeah. I want my money back.
You $24.99. A Carnor Jax. I want a Kier Kanos.
Yeah, it's the exact same figure. I just want the box to say the right name because these are really nice. Yeah. Really nice. Now, our buddy Matt, who edits The Living Force, he got a Thrawn Black Series 50th anniversary, and then he got the Luke from Heir to the Empire. Mm-hmm. He opened them both, took the Ysalamari from Luke, and wrapped it around Thrawn's neck.
Yeah. That's right.
And that is so sweet. Yeah. And so I'm trying to convince...
Pretty rad.
It's rad. I've been going back and forth for months on if I want to spend $24.99 on...
For months?
Months. Correct. Yeah, months. Well, I've been... maybe 6. Could be 8 or 10. I've been going back and forth for forever on if I'm going to spend $24.99 on that 2-inch Ysalamari. I might,
Rick,
but I haven't yet.
I'm glad you had your decision-making process on what to buy and what not to buy. Sometimes,
right?
Sometimes
right now, the decision-making process is trying to afford to go to Star Wars Celebrations. Oh my goodness, flights are not cheap right now, and then it's like a rental car from LAX to my hotel. I just am like, or a Uber. Anyway, it ain't gonna be cheap.
Did you say Uber again?
That's for sure. No, I don't feel good. I'm sick. In case you can't tell.
Rick, I'm glad you had the same exact moment that Jared and I had when we opened it. We both had we open it, right, and then we're kind of doubting ourselves a little bit, thinking, wait, how could they get this wrong? And you look at it and you look at online, and then you go into the chat and say, hey, Jared. And he's like, yes, I know. That's when you know you've had a true Legends moment.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I will say, Carnor Jax is a cool looking character.
Yes.
And would make for a great one of these.
Yeah.
So, he's got like the black and red.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're like arch nemeses. But then, if they made one, then I would have a box that says Carnor Jax with Carnor Jax inside. And then I would have a box that says Carnor Jax with Kier Canos inside.
Yeah.
Which is too
What's
much.
funny-
But the good news, now that we've got two of these, we're going to give away one of these to one of our lucky
Ooh.
listeners.
Nice.
Live on the show next week. I've kept the box and the bubble wrap and everything. So all you got to say is, come in live for the show next week and we'll have some kind of contest and got to say Legends, Legends, Legends or something like that. Well, if you say that tonight, you know what's going to happen? We're going to start the show. So let me hear it.
Legends, Legends, Legends.
Ooh.
There it is. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Look Back. This is a show that is proudly part of the YOUTINI Podcast Network. It is a Star Wars books podcast made with the help of my good friend and yours from Microsoft, Clippy. You know what I'm talking about? Where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I'm your host, Jared Mace, feeling great. Feeling great. And joined, that really backfired, joined my rad Californian co-host, Freddie C.
Hey guys, I'm going to take over the show tonight.
Please do.
Hey man, it's funny. I know we've got a Thraken store later on in the show, and I can't wait to show it. But the pretext of that is completely not expecting anything. Never showed up on my card. Don't know where it came from. Package magically appeared on my doorstep, and I'm loving it.
That happened to somebody the other day. It was when Corey got a package. What was that came in the mail?
The pool hat.
The pool hat. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I died.
Yeah.
Somebody sent him a pool hat.
I think it was
That
Carl.
was good.
He's one of our writers.
Okay. And then somebody sent Eric stickers. But they were like sci-fi fantasy stickers, and he didn't know who sent them. And it was like, anybody on the team,
That's funny.
send me these?
I love it.
I love them. And I was like, no, you don't. These are weird. Anyway, also joined tonight by her lonesome, but not for long, Emily Daybeck. How are you?
I am very, very pregnant. I'm at the point in pregnancy where you're eating spoonfuls of Nutella from the jar. If anybody knows and can
I
relate.
must be pregnant all the time.
It's really the only way to eat it. I feel like anytime I eat Nutella on something, I'm just disappointed. Like, I just want Nutella. I don't want anything else. And I've stopped lying to myself at this point in my life. And this pregnancy.
Nice.
I will say, Emily, we see you from, here, shoulders up, right, on the show.
Do you want a bump?
You've been talking about being pregnant for forever. She got up a few minutes before the show
I'll
started
do it
to
again.
go get something, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot she's pregnant.
There it is.
Look at that thing! Look at that
That's
thing!"
a
Which
baby.
brings us
There's
to
a baby in
tonight's
there.
topic of the best babies of the EU, and I'm really glad your baby wasn't born yet.
Yes. We had
So
a bit
that
of
you
a
can
scare
join us.
last week.
That's correct. If you watch the last 10 minutes of last week's show, Emily looks rough. I mean, wonderful, beautiful,
Oh.
but uncomfortable. Uncomfortable.
I was in a lot of
And-
discomfort, yeah.
I am like, what's the word for somebody who is like way too in tune with other people's moods?
An
Empath.
Empathetic.
I don't know what that is, but like if somebody around me is in a bad mood, I like key in on it real bad. And I'm like, what's wrong with them? Something's wrong. I don't feel good. I was getting really uncomfortable for you last week, Emily, but I'm glad you look a lot better tonight. Can I say that?
Thank you.
You look.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we found
Welcome,
out baby's
Rick.
facing the
Go
wrong
ahead.
way, and that's why my
Uh-oh.
body is just kind of having a hard time figuring out what's going on. So it's causing
Well,
some
sometimes-
back pain and cramping and whatnot. So, yeah.
Well, F's in the chat for Emily's back pain.
Thanks.
I will say, Rick's got a button he can press there behind the scenes to flip you around. Like he
Oh.
does it sometimes if Freddy's looking the wrong
Well, let's
direction.
give that a shot.
We'll see if, yeah,
Maybe that'll
see
help.
if he can get the baby to flip
I love
around.
that.
Speaking of whom, we've got our producer this week flipping everybody around which way and that. Rick Grace.
The baby
How are you, Rick?
himself.
Ha! I'm here. I'm wonderful. I have a surprise for y'all, kind of. Not really, it's just a goofy thing. It's not that big, but I want to make sure we've moved on past Emily's pregnancy, or else it'll be really awkward. So we're just going to...
Did you have a baby too, Rick?
Ooh. Plot twist.
No.
Wait.
No.
Okay.
Rick and I went separate ways. Rick and I went to college together, went separate ways. That's a tough one for me tonight for some reason. Separate rays too.
There you
the
go.
laser beams. Right after college, we both had children fairly shortly after college, and then every time I get together with him, he'll mention something about his kids, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you've got kids. That's weird. You didn't used to." That's how it works. All right,
Yeah.
Rick, what you got? Thrack and thrift store time.
Let's see. What do I got? Oh, so for Thracken's Thrift Store. So, yeah, big change from last week. By the way, thanks, Wes, for pointing out that my setup looks good.
Does
That's
look great.
thanks to my garage door came in at my new house. And so I got to move stuff around in my house and kind of get stuff out of boxes. And so I'm recustomizing some things, and I'm really excited about it. So I have more in my corner now. I'm still in the corner, but my corner's a lot cooler.
Your shelves look great.
So, like, everything feels new right now because it's, like, out of the box again. Here's my Chimera pen just to show Jared that I got
He does have one. Yeah, I was bragging about how I've got one, and he already had one.
Let's see.
Wait, how did you get one?
How did I get one? Oh, I bought some books from Corey, and he sent me some the books and then a bunch of other, like, old YOUTINI stuff, like bookmarks and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like I got something else this week. Maybe it was the Crimson Empire figure. I'm not even going to say his name.
It probably wouldn't be right anyway.
Yeah, I feel like I know, right? There's something else I was going to show off, but I will show off the wonderful T-shirt I'm wearing that is very on theme for tonight.
Ooh.
Do the side view like Emily did.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry. But what's fun about it is my wife got me this shirt because my son had a matching, not a matching, but a onesie. And so this is a good old eye roll. You ready? Get your eye stretches.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Oh.
For our audio listeners, Rick is now showing off his wonderful torso.
Yes. If you would
that
like
has,
this side, too.
It's got Darth Vader, and underneath it,
Yep.
in all caps, it says, Daddy.
Yep.
And then he showed off his bump.
Yeah.
His
And,
daddy bump.
Sorry it wasn't full screen, but you got the picture. So
Which reminds me, Rick, maybe you can get in on this. I'm looking for 3 people to join me at Star Wars Celebration to cosplay as the Dad Batch.
nice,
The
dude.
dad badge.
thought
I
you
would
were
be all
going as
for
the
that,
twins.
but I have.
I'm thinking
no
like, no. I'm thinking like,
Or
I'm
Salacious
not going to be Salacious
Speak
Speak either, Freddie. I'm thinking about like the headband that Hunter has, and then like a fanny pack, like a diaper bag over the shoulder. I don't know. I haven't
dude,
figured
it'd
it
be
all
so
out
good.
yet.
You'd have.
That would be
oh
great.
yeah.
You would get a lot of cred for that, I think.
I wish I could.
I'd probably just wear YOUTINI shirts instead.
Maybe
All
next
right,
time.
Freddie.
You
next
gotta
time.
commit.
Freddie, you've got something. What you got?
Yeah, so this came in and sitting on my on my doorstep. Had no idea what it was. My name on it too, and I hadn't ordered anything in a long time because, as everyone on the show is doing, there's a bit of moving going on in my life too. So I wasn't expecting anything, and then this showed up. I'm not sure if you got this from Book of Boba Fett.
Whoa.
Oh, that's the one with the colorful knee pads. That's how you know
Yep,
he's from the new show.
exactly. And it's crazy because I didn't even remember buying this. So
Congratulations.
congrats
Nice.
me. Yeah,
That's
my
cool.
little
I
baby.
wonder how many Boba Fett Funkos are out there. I've got one.
Yeah, I've got the vanilla one. It's got all the.
You think there's more than 10? There
don't
could
know.
be. There's a bunch.
Mine doesn't have the knee pads. I don't know which one mine is.
Fewer than the baby's Yoda. There's a lot of
Oh man,
Grogu's out there. There are a
yeah.
lot. I don't have any new collectibles to show off this week other than, my second here, Canos,
And the cold you picked
Carnor
up.
Jax.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they
funny,
fixed
man.
that. I remember what I was going to show off now. I'm going to get in trouble for this.
By the way, when I laugh when I'm sick, I sound like
Oh,
Salacious
it's the
Speak
best.
don't I,
I
Freddie?
can't wait. How many times can we...
I was actually thinking today about how sometimes children are a blessing. Sometimes they're like, how do you say it, Kowakian monkey lizards? That's like their personality. That is what a child is. They're like watching you to see how they can make your day miserable. Anyway, I love kids. Kids are great. So what I meant to show off too, my wife got me some mugs last week, and so that's why I was so emoting so highly there, because I'm gonna get in trouble for forgetting about them. So she got me a periodic table of Star Wars with a bunch of characters on it. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
And then
Is there a youngling
I don't think so
for tonight's
I
episode?
don't think. Well, let's see. There might be. And then a
Ooh, I
Mandalorian
like that
bounty hunter mugs, pretty sweet.
I love it.
I can't tell the age of this. It's this Tusken Raider, so maybe BB-8's on there. He's kind of youngish, right?
We'll count it. BB-8. I mean, it sounds like a baby. My kids call it Baby 8.
There you go. And then
Yeah.
The Office mug, the best quote ever on it. So,
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Wrong Star franchise. Rick?
Listen,
Come on, Rick.
As always.
if it's got star in it, I like it. So
I've got a mug too now. That reminds me, I'm drinking some hot tea tonight because it's that kind of night. I got the new YOUTINI mug available at youtini.com/merch.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it is the label on it is so big and wide that you cannot see the whole thing.
Oh,
So yeah, here we go.
there you go.
It's a
People can
road
see it here.
Yeah.
All right, all the way around. Yeah, got to go all the
Very
way.
nice.
Yep,
There you
and
go.
it's like a fashion show
Yep.
for my mug.
Classic YOUTINI
Now,
mug.
I've ordered a couple of other things that are not here yet, completed, hopefully. We'll see when I get them all up on the shelf. According to my spreadsheet, this will now complete my Knights what is it called? Young Jedi Knights paperback series.
Ooh.
And then one more thing. To hold the paperbacks, I bought bookshelves.
Ooh,
you just
So-
hold up a piece of a bookshelf.
We're seeing the nice depth
Yeah.
and darkness of this wood.
That's a black
Yeah.
piece
This
of wood,
is-
Jared.
I
job.
spent 2 full days out in my
Wow.
garage painting these bookshelves because Target didn't have black, they had gray. But it matches exactly structurally the black one that I have right there.
Mm.
So I was like, yeah, I'll buy the gray and I'll paint them. Worst decision ever. Worst decision ever. I mean, these things, I used, my wife was like, oh, for bookshelves, you should try chalk paint. I've heard that works. I was like, cool, I'll do it. She's like, warning, it'll take a lot of coats. She was right. She was right. Yeah.
Ooh.
It took me 2 full days.
Wow, that's a lot.
So hopefully next week, my Legends paperbacks
Looks like
will be off the floor and will be on the shelf. They're just in a pile. It's shameful. Absolutely shameful. Well, this episode is not shameful. However, we've got 2 more little things to discuss in the world of Legends news before we get into the thick of it. Just drop my books. All right.
to the thick of it.
There was a little bit of news this week, guys. Did you see it?
just a little bit. Nothing too big. Maybe a little bit big. You know,
The Star Trek show trailer that came out.
Oh, there now he's mentioned Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm
Can
not
we
sure what
kick him
Rick's
out?
doing on this show.
Is there a way?
He's the one that presses
I
the
have all
buttons.
the power.
Dang.
Yeah. So the Kenobi trailer dropped this week. Obi-Wan Kenobi, a Star Wars story. What are they calling that thing? A Disney Plus original. What is there a subtitle? That's the worst name ever. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean,
I think it's just Kenobi.
How is that a bad name? It
it's
describes
not
what it is.
imaginative.
Let's watch an
It's
Obi-Wan
not alliterated.
Kenobi.
Hey,
It's not a
I
pun.
like that.
I would be.
They could have called it "Hello There," a Star Wars story.
Hello
Yeah.
there. Okay, that would have been.
I would have been
funny.
good with Old Ben, but that's kind of a.
Yeah, like Old Man Logan.
I feel like Kenobi is the perfect title, but these
It's
are
not
also
called that.
great creative titles too. It's not.
It's called Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Is it really
It's his
all
whole.
3 or one?
Yeah.
It's a-
It's
Everybody
like,
just keeps referring to it as Kenobi, so I just assumed
which would have been a
it
better
would have been a
name.
Oh wow.
Anyway, we're opinionated. It looks great. Freddie, what's your impression of the trailer?
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I like that in the trailer. If you haven't seen it, you should probably have seen it by now, so no spoiler alerts there.
Okay, Indar said he has been avoiding the trailer.
All right,
Okay.
give us 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay, if you're avoiding spoilers, first of all, I do anything in my power to avoid spoilers, but teaser trailers are put out there for a reason, which is to gain that hype, right? So if you don't need the hype, then there's no worries there. But for those who are not into the Star Wars universe as much as we are, it needs to give some sort of sample of what we're expecting to see, right? And here is the spoiler alert. We're seeing quite a bit of stuff that was talked about in Legends, right? We've got Inquisitors.
That's right. People forget that they were in Legends first.
They were in Legends first.
Sparingly and very late in the Legends timeline.
The biggest one, what is Obi-Wan writing in the desert? But none other than an EOP.
I know. That I did like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme in person. My wife and I were watching it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he's got a drink in his hand, right? Yeah. Rick, here's the thumbnail.
Oh, mine's
Yeah,
different.
this is
Mine's
it.
the champagne.
That's what I was thinking. The champagne one.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic. So we've got the Inquisitors, we've got the EOP, and the voiceover is very straightforward with what we're expecting to see, right? It's hard for Jedi to stay hidden because they want to do good. And you're going to see a guy doing some acrobatic moves, chances of him being good and being that acrobatic kind of put him in the Jedi tree. So I feel like they're going to go after a lot of people that are probably not Jedi. We didn't see Inquisitors though, right? In the book, which it's a welcome introduction.
It's a smaller story. It's more Tatooine focused. The book, we're going to get there. We're going to do a big event centering around the book coming up in May. Sounds right, in May. Mm-hmm. And in the book, it's just Tatooine. You got all the sand people. You got the Eopis.
Yeah.
Jawas don't play a big part, but they're mentioned. Anyway, it's all Tatooine all the time. Monkey Jabba, he's there.
Monkey Jabba.
That's a thing. Yeah. Anyway, John Jackson Miller, who wrote this legendary Legends book called Kenobi, teased that something is going to be announced regarding him and Star Wars, Kenobi related. So we already know that. That's what I'm thinking, Emily. Emily said, "What if he writes another one?"
Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking: not a Legends Kenobi sequel, though that would be the ideal. My speculation is he's writing the novelization.
Okay. That could work too.
Well,
What do y'all think? What could he be teasing?
okay, so James Luceno and Timothy Zahn both kind of retcon some of their characters and some of their Legends works into canon. Because when Luceno wrote Tarkin, he mentions a couple characters from Darth Plagueis, and so kind of got to make that connection. And similarly, Timothy Zahn, Thrawn's all over the place. It's different, and so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets to do the same thing. John Jackson Miller, if he gets to maybe write in some characters from Kenobi in a canon book set in the same time period.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Maybe
putting
not,
it in my moisture evaporator.
Yeah, maybe not be entirely Kenobi centric, but like maybe a Lars story.
All right, grab my book off the shelf. Keep talking, Rick.
That'd be fun, like a Lars story, of growing up with young Luke or something, or I don't know, just.
They have been loving putting Luke in things lately. That wouldn't surprise me.
It'd be cool.
Well, there was this a little scene where we saw Obi-Wan watching Luke, right, in the trailer itself, and we got to see him doing something that we
That's
would
where
probably...
the meme originated.
Yeah, very meme.
Yeah, that's where
the binoculars.
Yeah, the Legends Palpatine meme. That's where that originated from. And he's doing something similar that we would expect to see in Anakin. So you can tell that's definitely Anakin's son. There's no doubt.
Yeah, he's like playing pod racer out there on the homestead. Now, since we've mentioned it, Rick, John Jackson Miller wrote a short story for From a Certain Point of View, in which case a Yark, the queen of the Sand People or whatever her title is in a marginally canon book. So it could happen. There's already a precedent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plug eye, as they call it.
Plug eye.
That's right.
Yeah.
Plug eye.
She had, and it was because Plug Eye had the thing in her eye. You know what? Maybe I'll steer away from this conversation now. All of those who wanted to come back, here's your unspoiler alert. But I'm excited.
Thumbs up means come back. Here we go.
Excited.
If they're watching,
Come back.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Move along. one more piece of brief Legends news to mention is there was a new Epic Collection released. I don't know if we mentioned this last week or not. We're just going to at least plug it here. Legacy Volume 2. I don't know what they've called it as an Epic Collection, but it features the entire run of Legacy Volume 2 starring Anya Solo. Yeah, that's the one with like C-3PO in a murder droid body. Right, Freddie?
Yeah.
What's that droid's called?
Oh man, I can't remember that droid's name.
Doubles, 000, something like that.
No, that's canon.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
There's the door. Just kidding. What is that? We got
This
cannon?
is the second time tonight we've kicked Rick off the show.
He's leaving.
Oh, no.
He's gone.
Cannon
Wait,
Who's
who's
gonna-
going to produce
Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek. We got this.
All right, let's see if we can get one of his dogs to come in. Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay, well, this is good. There is an IG droid who, and it's a fan theory, right, Freddie? I don't think this is like
Yeah.
official.
Yeah, it's a fan theory.
C3PX,
That's it,
thank
that's
you,
it.
Emma, comics fan. She's read this, right? Probably. She says she has. She at least knew the character's name. Anyway, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So people think that it is C3PO programmed into an IG droid, which is really, really cool. You know what else is cool? Babies. So without further ado, let's birth them.
Breathe. All right, so I have a very important question. We're talking about babies. Babies, the best babies of the EU. Can somebody help me out? Where exactly do babies come from? I'm hoping, Emily, maybe
no.
you can help me out. Where
What are you
where
doing?
do babies come from?
You know, I've always wondered. Freddie, could you explain? You know everything.
Yeah, Freddie.
Hold on.
let-
How do you not know?
Let's see.
There's a lot of
First-
things that happen to me. I have no idea.
You get a baked potato.
It
Put
always
it in the
starts
microwave
with the
for
baked
3
potato.
minutes.
Yes.
And then you put some sour cream, some butter on it.
I'm lactose intolerant.
And, well, that's how babies
Send
are
Rick
made
to the
then.
hospital.
Baked potatoes.
All right. Now, Rick, did you mean where do babies come from in Legends? Because things are a little bit wild and
Just
wacky in
gonna leave the
Legends.
question open. I mean, this is an educational show, but
Open to all answers.
if we need to narrow our scope, then I guess it's okay for us to move forward, making this a Legends answer.
Well, there are a lot of Legends babies that come from the Bacta tank. No, what are those? The cloning tank.
Cloning tank.
That's
yeah.
a good point.
A lot of
Yeah.
There's a
Palpatines.
midichlorian action.
I was about to say. Yeah.
Well,
Emma.
Palpatine.
Potential.
There's a story with Palpatine trying to get in a baby.
We'll get there. Yeah, we're not going to touch the topic any further than we already have
Jared-
of where babies come from in
Jared,
Legends. But
hold
what
on.
we will do.
You didn't let Freddie finish. Do you put chives on the potato? Emma wants to know.
Not if it gives you chives.
It's in all caps too. I love that.
Oh, that was perfect.
It's so
Oh
good.
my
All right.
goodness.
Anyway,
continue.
we are going, however, to talk about something. What was I saying?
I have no clue.
Babies.
I think it depends on the species, right? Are we talking human babies? Is that what most of the babies of Legends
Okay, cutting this topic off, cutting it off.
Okay.
But we are talking about a number of babies who have had some very questionable things happen to them before they're even born.
Yeah.
I mean, this happens a lot in Legends. We're going to get there.
What a
Start us
great
off, Emily,
thing.
at the top here with some of the most notable babies in the EU.
Well, we've got the classic, the twins, Jason and Jaina Solo, which we read about in Timothy Zahn's The Thrawn Trilogy, right?
Yeah, that's where they originate. Isn't that right, Freddie?
Yeah, I believe they're mentioned, but obviously we don't see them until
Yeah,
bit
they're not
later
born
on.
yet, I don't think. Until the third?
Yeah.
The last command, yeah.
yeah, and,
Yeah, the last command is, get this baby out of me. Am I right?
and
I did think
and-
that Timothy Zahn did a really great job describing pregnancy. I thought he did a really great job, like explaining Leia's like transition from motherhood into, from pregnancy into motherhood.
That's a very interesting topic because as a male when I read it, I just see it in
You
the paper.
skim.
I can't.
That's okay.
Yeah, I can't. You can't. I
Can't relate to having a
relate
being
to it at
growing
all.
inside
So,
you that like completely connects with every part of your life.
well, after those chives, you never know.
That's a
But I'm never going to live this
different
down.
kind of delivery.
But Jason and Jaina are very. They're definitely ingrained in Legends, and we get to see them from the unborn names to the who they become later on and their family. which is very interesting. But in most cases, right, we've seen numerous, and I see it here in the show notes too, which is fantastic. But there's numerous attempted kidnappings. I believe there's successful kidnappings. Is that right?
Sometimes. Yeah, I know there's one in...
I feel like there's a thing
one of those...
with all the Jedi babies. People just try to take them. They
And
can't
they
ever
wander
just
off?
stay.
They wander off.
like, give me
into-
them Jedi babies. People want to see the baby with Baby Yoda. People want to take the baby.
They all
I
want to take
to
the
with,
Jedi
Legends
babies.
babies.
baby.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I know there's
Yeah.
one in the Young Jedi Knight series where somebody captures him and takes him to the Shadow Academy. That's it's like the Jedi Academy, but the bad one.
Ooh.
It's a
Great
space
Jedi.
station, not a moon, right? And then there's another one in like the main, like there's several big Bantam trilogies between the Thrawn trilogy
Yeah.
and the New Jedi Order. One of those, maybe every single one of those trilogies has the Solo children getting kidnapped.
And then we see the Solo children, Jason and Jaina, wander into the core of Coruscant.
Yeah.
After, because I think
Forgot
who is
about
it?
that.
C-3PO
3PO,
is taking care of them.
I know that story. Is that X-Wing or is that no, it would because it Jedi Academy trilogy or Thrawn?
It sounds like, let's see, there's probably some assassinations. Let's see, the Wookiee is involved, so Chewbacca's involved in taking care of them. Yeah, I was trying to remember which Wookiee, but it's got to be
Yeah,
Chewbacca.
I think it's in one of the books from the Jedi Academy trilogy.
Okay.
The
I've read
Wookiee.
those
Because I had the concussion. I remember reading that and thinking, is my brain broken? Or did C-3PO, was he like watching them?
Yeah, he's babysitting.
And then they were like, we want to go down here, down the elevator. And he's like, no, don't do that. And they do it
Like
anyway.
there are a
and
couple
then they're just
concerning things you just said. A, that, they wander into the center of Coruscant. And also, why were you reading with a concussion? I feel like that's not
that
a great
was-
choice.
Important question.
He tried. He tried.
Oh,
I was reading print books instead of on my iPad, like instead of screens. I had to do something.
okay.
It was still pushing it like what my brain can handle.
I can
It was
imagine.
yeah, that was, if we recap on that, it was a snowboarding incident, right, Jared? You were
I'm
on
going snowboarding next week.
were on
I'm
the
going on a
half
ski.
Gosh.
I'm going on a ski trip with the church. Yeah, I'm excited.
That's
No
great.
concussions this time.
Oh man,
Oh, goodness.
famous.
But
last
they were
words.
Knock on wood.
going back to the twins. They were
Yeah.
taken care of for like the beginning part of their lives by Winter, I believe.
Yeah. I thought that was really interesting because the first time I encountered Winter as a character was during the Thrawn trilogy. And after like reading more afterwards, it's surprising to me that like she was basically their nanny.
Yeah.
And at the time I just thought, okay, like she's the nanny. But then like knowing more about her, she's like, are we allowed to say bad? I know, like she's really, really cool. We'll just say that. And I don't know, but seeing how many kidnapping attempts apparently they've been through, I can understand why you would want a special nanny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Like-
can say rad, Emily. We say
Rad.
rad
I'm
here
sorry.
on the show because we've got the 90s aesthetic.
The
You're
most
right.
rad
Rad.
nanny you could have.
She's a rad nanny. I would love
She's,
it if she would nanny my children. That'd be
She's a
great.
slicer.
This
She's
That wouldn't
probably-
be
This
sus
is,
at all.
She has like was it photographic memory? She remembers everything.
Yep.
Yep.
that would
definitely.
really not be good with children.
Well, children
yeah, you
also have
remember.
really good memories too, so it's
Oh my
probably
goodness,
for
yes.
the best.
Now, this is a trope with Han and Leia's kids. Is they're like, all right, we can't have the kids in danger. Let's leave them behind somewhere
them
with
safe.
somebody.
Yeah, that would be
And
better.
then dark side assassins come and try to kidnap them
Yeah.
or successfully kidnap them. Or, as we're going to talk about with the next character, sometimes, Palps, clothed, but he was formerly naked, did come and try to, like, take over the essence. We'll get there.
Oh man,
Anyway, it's not a good idea. They just talked about this last night on the Living Force.
of the children.
That on the Cosmic Force they did Rise of Kylo Ren, and there Kylo Ren complains that my parents were too busy for me, so they left me behind with a babysitter all my years growing
They
up, and
do
I was
that
like,
all the time.
Legends did it first. That's right.
Yep. I mean, if you think about it, it's a pretty intense sacrifice because on one side, let's take a in-universe look at what's going on. Leia has still a whole. At this point, it's not even a rebellion. It's what is it? We're already in the firm republic, right? The new republic at this point. And what's going on is she still has a lot of people that are relying on her. A lot of, Mon Mothma's relying on her. The whole republic is relying on her. And it's a sacrifice of, okay, I could focus on my 2 kids or carry this entire galactic republic into the future with which they had only darkness, right? And so it's an intense sacrifice that she has to make, and you could see it in the books too. She struggles a lot with it because she just wants to be with her kids.
Absolutely, great point. Which leads us to the third of her children. In fact, there was a bit of debate between Timothy Zahn and the late, great, rest in peace, Tom Veitch, regarding Leia's pregnancy. Because they both wrote, like, what happened immediately after Return of the Jedi for the big 3. And they both had Leia pregnant. But then Timothy Zahn wanted to birth the babies in his trilogy. And if I'm not mistaken, so did Tom Veitch. So they compromised. The first 2 babies, because Timothy Zahn had to win, right? Twins. Echoing Luke and Leia, right? Were born in the Thrawn trilogy. And then, tell us, Emily, who was born in Dark Empire?
Anakin Solo. Very interesting name. So she was pregnant twice, and so Anakin was born after Jason and Jaina. So she had, what is it? How many under 4? Like 3 under 4? How far apart in age were they?
They're fairly close.
That is a
aren't they?
great question.
It's you don't.
It could be as much as 5 years. But it could be way less than that. And thank you for blindsiding me with this factual question I don't know the answer to. Somebody in the chat will if we stall for long enough.
Don't question the will of the Force, man. I mean,
Aaron in the chat says, I think the twins are 5 and Anakin is 2 or 3, which makes sense.
Yeah.
That the timing works out there. And there's a life essence transfer by Palpatine? What?
Oh, man.
An attempted one, a foiled attempt in Empire's End. This is the 2-part miniseries that finishes off kind of anticlimactically the Dark Empire trilogy.
He just tries to possess a child. That's fine.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
It was reduced. It wasn't the original creative team.
Oh.
Cam Kennedy didn't come back.
Yeah.
It's a different artist. It's shorter. It needed the full 5-6 issues. Would have been better. It's still good. Go ahead, Freddie. Take it away.
Well, okay. So this is the comic where Palpatine. It's the series where Palpatine has made. It's the trope that we used right during Legends Look Back, and the memes that we've been talking about. The naked Palps. He is just trying to get himself into a new vessel because he is aging, and his clone isn't holding up, and so he tries to.
Yeah, Luke destroyed all the other clones.
Yeah.
So he's left with the last clone body.
Exactly.
Yeah, because there's naked Palpses all over the floor.
oh,
All of
man.
them, just slobbery, moist, everything.
Oh.
And bloody, because he slew them.
Yeah. Well, it's that remains to be seen because if it's via lightsaber, it'll just be charred body parts.
Just for the image, for the mental picture,
Yeah.
Freddie.
So
Like Ponda Baba's
as you can
arm.
imagine, just what would we call it? Was that like a cloning vat? Liquids everywhere. Palpatine in his last remaining clone, and the clone is aging quickly. And in order for him to, he doesn't have any more of those, but he needs some sort of force child, a powerful force child. And so he was going to transfer that essence, that soul, I would assume, into Anakin, which is crazy because you'd have to have this baby Palpatine until it
That is
grew
the
up.
most
Yeah.
horrifying. Isn't there a movie where that happens? Is it Austin Powers?
Oh my gosh.
Where there's a
The
baby.
Oh, Mini-Me? No, that's just a...
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sassy, angry, ornery little baby.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Sure.
Yeah.
what an interesting
I don't know.
idea.
We're going to pivot from that point.
Pivot.
Anyway, that's, Emily, what I was referencing when we found out you were pregnant, and I was like, may your child have significantly fewer attempted possessions on your unborn
That's right.
soul
Yes.
than anyone in Legends.
No Sith essence transfers here. Not gonna happen.
Now, Rick, have you read these yet?
Which one? Dark Empire?
Yeah, Empire's End.
Empire's End. No, I've not gotten that far yet. I'm still I think halfway through the first series, book, whatever you want to call it.
That's fine. I think, Freddie, it's in the third one with Impadajoyos Brand.
I was gonna say your favorite Jedi. I kept saying Farfall is not your favorite.
It's Impad. I want to see a duel to the death between Farfalla, Valentine Farfalla, and Impadajoyos Brand. Emily, you were saying before the show that this description of Impadajoyos Brand sounded made up, right?
Like, what is this rolliest, holiest, steampunkiest Jedi? Like, what even is that? I don't even know.
Yeah.
It is exactly how
Do
you
we have
read
an
it.
image? Like, what?
You just got to Google it.
Just Impadajoyos Brand.
Impadajoyous Brand.
Yeah, you can spell it easily. It won't be. It's not that difficult. Impadajoyos
I
Brand.
legitimately didn't know what that was until, I saw it in the show notes and I was like, that's obscure. I'm just gonna wait for some help.
Let me help you picture it. He is
The roly poliest.
Oh my gosh, oh my goodness. It's the roly-poly Buzz Lightyear guy.
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear. That's what you call him. He's a ball with a head in the helmet, with a lightsaber arm, and the other one's what? Like a
tool of some
blaster.
sort.
It's like an
this?
injector, like a syringe.
That's
Yeah,
Impadajoyos
it's
Brand.
steampunk.
BB-8 Buzz Lightyear. What?
Welcome to
He's great.
Legends.
Anyway,
He
the relevance
saves
on this show
Anakin?
is he sat. Okay, this is a little bit spoilery for
it's
a
Legends.
great, absolutely great comic. All right, here we go.
Okay.
He sacrificed himself. He takes the bullet, the essence transfer, but then Palpatine's body can't handle being inside Impadajoyos Brand steampunk rollerball, so it kills naked Palps. Wow, something like that.
Yeah,
What a
something
Sounds
like
right,
that.
Freddie.
There you go, Rick. We
Thank
didn't.
you.
We
It's
won't
a great
spoil it
story.
for you.
All right.
You'll see it. You'll get there.
Oh my
All right.
gosh.
So we've talked about the solo children. We had Jason and Jaina and Anakin, and by the tumultuous experiences they had, it's a miracle that they lived to adulthood. Will they live past adulthood? We won't say on tonight's show. But, live past adulthood. I guess that's it. All right, yeah, who we got here? These are the twins.
Sorry.
We got an image of the twins.
It's a nice photo.
And then,
Or,
do we have one
image
of Anakin? Yeah, here we go. That's a beautiful image of
Huh.
Palpatine.
I want
holding
your essence.
Give me the
What
baby.
in the world?
C-3POs.
Oh.
All right,
I didn't
please
have
caption
any
this picture,
corn.
everybody.
Okay.
Please, everybody caption this photo for us and throw it in the Discord or tag us on Twitter. That's a good one. All right, it's C-3PO's bugging out in that
He
photo.
really
All right,
is.
now
Is it Sith Lightning, you think? Or no? Is he just shorting out?
that's going to be my best
I
guess.
feel like he's
Yeah.
shorting out.
He's just overloading by what he's beholding in front of his
You're
eyes.
gonna do what?
There's one more. I can't even do this. There's one more notable baby of the Skywalker solo lineage in the main chronology of Legends, and that is none other than Ben Skywalker. Freddie, tell us about Ben Skywalker.
Yeah, Ben Skywalker.
that
So,
picture.
what was it? New Jedi Order balance point is when the pregnancy was announced for Ben Skywalker. But in the NJO Edge of Victory 2 Rebirth is when we actually see Ben Skywalker being born. And honestly, I remember back in the day when this first dropped, and I was like, wait, what? There's a Skywalker, another Skywalker? Because there's been solo kids for a long time, but no Skywalker kids, right? That was the big
Yeah,
one.
it was a big deal in that beautiful Emily. Perfect quote.
exactly
It was a
it.
big deal, wasn't it, Freddie, back when this happened?
Oh, totally. We didn't, like I said, right? We had solo children for a long time. We had 3 of them, right? The twins and Anakin. But nothing on Luke's side. We weren't really sure what was going on. And then, of course, we meet Mara Jade, and Luke meets Mara Jade, and that relationship just rockets. You got that beautiful picture there with
The rest is history.
Exactly.
Now, this pregnancy is not without its drama, though, right?
Yes.
No, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some drama. His unborn self is attacked by the deadly Yuzhan spore virus.
Well, because
Now,
Mara.
Emily, as I was writing this, I was like, I wonder if this is going to disturb Emily, like,
Yeah,
as her
it's
baby's
okay.
about to be born. Thinking about all these
disturbs me.
babies
Great
being
idea.
attacked.
But as everyone is like getting attacked by spores and kidnapped, like, yeah, that's fine. It's
It's a safe
Skywalker
world to have
solo
a
kids.
child.
But no, so Mara Jade, she was attacked by the what is it? The Yuzhan, the comb spore?
I've always said comb spore, but
I always thought it was comb spore. It's another one of those things.
because the Yuzhan were like trying out like biological weapons basically on like a group of like a small group, and she was among them, and the only one that survived, I believe. So she didn't think that she could get pregnant. So I think that Ben Skywalker was a huge surprise because like it took all of her effort to fight off the disease, and she got like really sick toward the end of her pregnancy, didn't she?
there was a lot of backlash from fans back when this was happening because they were saying, like, you have a strong woman Jedi Master for the first time ever at this point in Star Wars publishing. And they sidelined her with a deadly disease. And basically she was weakened. And then they made her a mother, which was like, okay, well, now is she going to take care of the kid instead of being a Jedi and fighting? And anyway, we've had this debate before. I'm not going to get into it right now, but it is a tumultuous pregnancy. But he emerges victorious. And she is eventually cured of the disease. We won't say how. It's a big plot point in the new Jedi Order. So, Emily, if you're keeping count, so far, we've had how many children? 1, 2, 3, 4 children. All 4 of their lives in danger
all the
by
time.
the age.
Well, because they're all Jedi. That's the problem.
By the age
just
of
don't have Jedi
1 year
kids.
old.
They're Jedi
Did we mention?
kids from the most prominent Jedi family.
Yeah, they're like, what is it? Child celebrity Jedi?
Yeah, basically.
They were doomed from the beginning.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
absolutely. No, you think, Emily, about like the drama of bringing a child into the world today. And it feels, we did a whole baby Sunday at church a couple weeks ago, and my co-minister made this point, and I was like, it's kind of strong words there. He was like, it's a brave thing to bring a child into the world today. Yeah, you just got to be thankful you're not bringing them into the galaxy
least-
far, far away.
At least the Yuzhan Vong aren't here yet.
Yeah, or Palpatine.
Yeah, don't you like love when you get so into the world of Star Wars? You're like, man, I just wish that everything would just be nice and peaceful. And then you're like, wait a minute, it's called Star Wars. That's probably never going to happen. It's not Star Peace.
Star piece.
We could call it Star Babies, like Muppet Babies.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, all right, one more solo Skywalker child. This one is the next generation, however. Rick, why don't you take Alana Solo?
Well, you said the next generation, and so now I'm Star Trek triggered.
No!
Oh, man.
But
Stop.
I'll talk a little bit about Alana Solo. I'm going to butcher all these names, so y'all get ready. We have Alana Solo, the daughter of Jason Solo and Tenel Ka Joe.
Yeah.
All right, cool, yeah.
Good.
Thank you. So the Hapan, and Dathomiri princess, is that mom that I'm guessing?
Well, yes.
Okay.
But then Alana would be the lineage.
Okay, I see. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So that's nice. That transfers. Raised by Han and Leia after her parents' untimely demise. Thanks for that spoiler. And then...
It's the Star Wars. You
I
just
know,
said
I
it
know,
yourself.
I know. And then, fun fact, has a pet Nexu. Not bad. That's a pretty good pet,
She does have a pet Nexu. Yeah.
What's a Nexu?
It's like that cat tiger looking thing with a bunch of teeth.
Mm-hmm. Like the...
From Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
The one that tears Padme's midriff.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking
Bliss.
about.
Yeah.
midriff.
It's really cool. You
Has a
think
pet
about this.
Nexu?
Yeah. It's,
A solo grandbaby. The daughter of a Jedi and another Jedi / queen.
Don't
Hapen.
they both end
Who
up
wears
being
it?
Sith?
Is it
No.
Hapen or Happen?
Not in
I
this
can't remember.
timeline.
Hapen. Right. This is where the joke comes from, Freddy, of the planet Hapes, or Hapies,
Hapies. That's right.
as I like to call it.
Hapies. That was a while ago.
Hey, peas.
So they're in the Young Jedi Knight series. Jason and Tenel Ka, they're like childhood best friends.
Okay.
Anyway, the series takes off. And there's actually a funny joke that emerges. Rick,
yeah.
as an upstanding man, tell the good folks about what Ben Skywalker said to Jason and Tenel
Yeah,
Ka.
so are they cousins, I guess?
Jason and Ben? Yeah.
Okay, so Jason and Ben, yeah.
Okay.
But Jason's also his Jedi Master.
Oh, wow.
Ben is his Padawan.
Nice, okay. So Ben Skywalker told Jason and Tenel Ka, you're not married and you had a baby? You guys are going to be in so much trouble. How was that? That's my best Ben.
It's not so different from how it sounds in the audio.
Yeah, definitely different. We'll have to hide that version. If you're ever gonna get some voiceover work, Rick, let's make sure they don't listen to this episode.
Yeah, I know. Not my best.
I appreciated the commitment, though.
It was.
you.
I give you a 10 out of 10 on that one.
I just went with it. I just went.
Love it.
Yeah, take rest.
What's funny is this staunch conservatism really is in line with what we read a couple weeks ago from
Yes.
from
Boba
Boba Fett too. It was like marital relations are only for
Married peoples.
The
Yeah, that's right. So, Legends,
And if I'm not
the
mistaken,
conservative version of Star Wars.
yeah. Ben Skywalker grows up to be a pretty straight edged Jedi, but I can't remember him too much, honestly. I'm gonna have
Let's
to
not say
refresh
too much
myself.
about it, because,
Yeah.
there's a lot to enjoy with that late in the Legends
True.
chronology.
And it's far, right? We're getting into the offspring of the offspring, right? And we've seen this story go all the way from Anakin to Anakin's mother, right? And so we're seeing several generations just in front of us in Legends, which is so interesting to see at times. See like a whole.
What's
whole
fun about
child.
this is Ben does have a Sith girlfriend at one point. So do they have another child? We won't say. We do know that later down the line in the Legacy comics, Luke has a descendant.
He does.
Cade Skywalker, who does space drugs and
Space graffiti.
he doesn't want none of this Jedi business. Now, we've talked about the good guys. Let's talk a little bit about some of the villainous spawn in Legends. Freddie, tell us a
What
little
a
bit
phrase.
about who we got. Who we got here.
The spawn. Yeah, the villainous spawn. So we've got right off the bat, who is it? We've got Quinlan and Dromica, the Sith siblings from Knight Errant. So those are some interesting dark villainous spawn.
Yeah, somebody in Discord, I don't have it right in front of me, wanted to make sure that we talked about them. So all we're going to say is they exist. There's like these warring Sith lords in the Knight Errant series. But they're like this brother-sister twin duo. It's really interesting. Yeah. It's kind of convoluted, the lore in Knight Errant. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
It's its own thing, for sure. There's comics and a book. So there's a lot to enjoy there. All right, continue.
We've got this next one, which is fairly interesting. Palpatine, Palps, which I mean, we see him in Darth Plagueis as a younger. I'm not sure how old he is there, but he immediately slays his entire family, right? Which is really a turn to the dark side. But Palp's dad was actually scared of what's Palp's dad's name? Sheev's dad at this moment, Consignia?
Kasinga.
Kasinga,
I like
right.
to say it like
Kasinga.
Kasinga.
He was actually scared of Sheev Palpatine as a baby, which is to be scared of a baby, like a whole grown man being scared of a baby. That's an interesting thing, and you can just imagine the kind of, I guess, darkness that this child had before he was even really supposed to have it, right?
Rick's looking at you like he was scared of his own
Not
kids.
my own kids. Not my own kids. But I've known some babies that it's like, there's something not right about that child.
You are a Palpatine.
Baby?
There's a point in the book, Emily, somebody in the Discord, please give us the quote, the direct quote. It's haunting.
Yeah.
Where he says, from the moment I held that child in my arms, I knew he wanted to kill me. And it was like, oh, I don't like that one bit. Yeah. All right, let's get on to some happier stuff, such as Balps's illegitimate offspring, such as Elderlath Palotopes. I can't even say it.
Oh, yeah.
Palopides?
Ederlath, Palopides, Palopedes.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of, in the Legends world, a lot of jokes about Elderlath Palidipes, she is, I can't even say it. In the Dark Empire source book, I'm not sure that she's in any like legitimate stories, but the idea is she's Palpatine's great niece who tried to seize the Imperial throne after his death in Dark Empire, or like maybe was used by other people, because Palidipes sounds a lot like Palpatine, right?
Hello,
I'm
Lord Palidipes.
Greasy ancestors.
Yeah.
And then there is, of course, Ken Palpatine, the Palpatine's grandson, maybe, from the Jedi Prince series, the descendant of, what is it,
Triclops? Trioculus?
Triclops, not Trioculus. Trioculus fakes it,
Yeah.
but Triclops, Palpatine's mutant son. It gets very wacky with Palpatine's family lineage in Legends, for sure.
So he just gives up
For
and
sure.
is like, "We're just gonna make clones. Clones are easier. I like myself more than any
That's right.
offspring I could
That's
produce."
Young Palps.
All right, so
Clones, those
before
are
we
the
close out the show, lightning round here, some parenting questions in general. Ready? Emily, we're going to start with you, the resident new parent to be. All right.
Well, you,
Who is the best parent, in your opinion, in Star Wars?
Oh, Jango Fett, for sure.
Take that
Absolutely.
tooth.
Yeah. Just go in there and get a tooth. Doesn't
Man,
matter how. You'll never be afraid
Freddie.
again.
Definitely wouldn't mind just leaving the kids off with my awesome, rad nanny and just taking off, hanging out in the luxury yachts. Just kidding.
Well, that's my answer, is Lando is the fun uncle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's,
sure.
there's a good book or two,
Fun uncle.
Washington, where people, Lando's like, all right, kids, hop in the Lady Luck. We're going to go for a joyride. And so that would be very fun. Rick, best parent in Star
best
Wars?
parent. All right, this isn't totally Legends, but I'm gonna go with
fine.
Shmi Skywalker. Just
yeah.
Qui-Gon, you look like a trustable old man that I'll let my child go with and live the rest of his life with. So yeah, sure.
The
that's
gambling
fine.
Jedi.
Yeah,
Sure. Go with the gambling Jedi with the rabbit with the tongue friend.
Yeah.
Sure.
What could go
Nope.
wrong?
Yeah. All right. Next up, best babysitter in Star Wars.
Winter.
We've talked about
Definitely not
Winter.
C-3PO.
Maybe if he had an upgrade to his parenting firmware or something, he'd do a little
Yeah.
better. But
And that was his thing, right, Jared? He kept saying, I'm not coded for this. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
programmed for this.
They made the joke on the Cosmic Force that C-3PO would be a good therapist in Star Wars because he's programmed with 6 million forms of communication. Surely, emotional communication is one of them,
Are
right?
the 5 love languages? Are they among them?
I don't believe in the 5 love languages.
What do you believe
Ooh,
in,
hot
Jared?
take.
But mine is food.
No Enneagram, no love languages, man.
No, it's all pseudoscience.
I mean, that is true. Those are pseudoscience.
You know what's real science? Star Wars,
Yes.
where parsecs are a what is it? A time, not a distance.
Yes.
Okay, and finally, last question for the night: how many Legends books can you think of a Legends book? Name a Legends book with a baby-related title.
Heir to the Empire?
Heir to the Empire. Heirs. There you go. All right, there's one.
Children
Freddie.
of the Jedi?
Children of the Jedi.
Oh.
And Rick.
Scoundrels.
Hey! That's not even technically
Isn't there
Legends,
one-
is it?
Is there? It is. It is. Is there a
It
book
is,
called
yeah.
Descendants of the Dark Side? Is that like a children's book?
Descendants of the Dark Side.
If it's not, I just made it up.
Sounds legit. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that there's one that was almost Legends.
You can go Dynasty of Evil. That's kind of...
That's
Dynasty.
True.
All right,
Yeah.
there's
There you
one.
go.
Good job,
That's
Rick.
true.
You got
Good
one.
job.
You got one. They took the easy picks. And I will say there's one more I was thinking of with a baby-related title. Oh, Heir to the Jedi. Heir to the Jedi was about to be a Legends book, and we pushed it out into canon back in 2014 with all of its space noodles. Well, the fact of the matter is, Baby Yoda has taken the world by storm. Emily's baby is taking Legends Look Back off the rails. Emily is going to be out for a few weeks. They are discussing inducing the baby. We're not going to give any more personal details other than the fact that if Emily's not on the show,
You know
she
what?
is. She's in the hands of what's that nurse droid
oh my
from?
gosh,
Oh no,
what is that, Rick?
Ooh, my.
It's
yeah, Upa. What's the name of that droid from Revenge of the Sith?
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh man, that would be awesome. I don't know the name.
Oh, and Wes has bailed me out. There is a Star Wars book called Descendants of the Dark Side. It's a little golden book for all of your younglings. Am I right? Perfect for this episode. Well, we have talked tonight all about the best Rugrats of the galaxy far, far away.
Roar. I am Reptar.
I did have a friend in high school with a Reptar tattoo,
That's sick.
which all these years later still is really a rad choice.
Rad.
And it was a rad choice for all of you to watch the show tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Legends Look Back. If you would like to catch some of the other YOUTINI shows, Freddie, I'm going to let you do the outro in a second. I will say this much. Coming up Monday, the Midnight Horizon Roundtable Part 2 on the Living Force, Monday, March 14th. Wednesday, the Paolo Villanelli Spotlight. That might have been changed to something else. The Cosmic Force is on Wednesday night. And then next week, we've got the Crimson Empire Roundtable. It is going to be bloodier than anything ever in the history of Legends. Hence, Crimson. Yeah, there it is. So, Freddie, take us out.
All right. Well, that does it for this week. Thanks for joining us for Legends Look Back. Thanks to our incredible patrons for your support. We love making the show, and we're glad that you're here along for this ride. A special thank you for our Jedi High Council, OK Endar, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander, and our Alliance High Command, Matt Billington, Elizabeth Cloutier, Freddie C., and Sally and Chris Eilerson. Remember to sub to this channel and leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. We want your thoughts read on the show. If you do want your thoughts read on this show, email us at legendslookback@youtini.com or send us a message in the Legends Look Back Discord channel. Leave a comment on this episode on YouTube or find us on Twitter at Legends Look Back. Jared.
I'm Jared Q. Mace.
Ooh, there's Jared. And I am Freddie at Wake Up Freddie. Rick.
At Rick_Grace.
And Emily.
At Darth Daybeck.
If you're looking to buy some of these books and you want to help support the show, let's see here. Jared's cursor's in the way. Can't read that part of the notes.
Uh-oh, sorry.
Look up your book on YOUTINI. Click the Amazon link in the profile, or you can leave a review. Let us know what you think, and remember to keep the YOUTINI fan code and be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the force be with you.